Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Tasneem. I'm the senior manager at 98 percentile in the HR department. And today we did a wonderful drive with XLR. It was amazing right from the very beginning, from the very first day when I got in touch with them till today. I think it was an extremely smooth journey with them. There were multiple follow-ups done by the representatives in order to check that we would be, what time would be coming, how many people would be coming, what vehicle we would get. To that extent, they were so precise in giving all the information to us. It was extremely great to get associated with them and have a drive at XLR campus. So we are very, very happy that we got a chance to do this. Now, coming to the students, what XLR had, I think they were extremely enthusiastic. They were well prepared. They were aware of what they are coming for. I think there was some back-end preparation which they did that was commendable. They also were very confident and they were open to any kind of thing we were asking them to do. That was I think the best part. Now, I really hope we have a very, very fruitful association with each one of them and XLR in future. We are really looking forward to have many more drives like this.
Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Sharma and I'm the Senior Project Manager for IT Department at 90th Percentile. So today we were here for this IT Bootcamp, right, this technical drive and at XLR. So it was a great experience and I would feel that the students, they are the freshers, right, but it doesn't seem like that. So if I talk about their technical and cognitive ability, they all seems pretty good in that and that's what I felt. And I guess they have been taught pretty well at XLR, so that's how they have performed good in their aptitude and the technical tests. So I wish them all the best and it was a very great experience over here.
Hi, this is Patan, Technology Consulting Manager from 98th Percentile. We visited XLR for the campus placement drive and it went very well today. Ms. Ambika, Ms. Pragati, everyone received us greatly here and we had a lot of enjoyable time here. The students even had great experience with us. They were interactive, they had good aptitude and all the technological skills they showed. I think they were all well and we really appreciate their time that they spared to us and I think we will be doing a great job. We are expecting a lot of people to be hired from them. Let's see. It was a great experience altogether.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
From entering into the cyber tower to exiting out of this
Good morning, all. Good morning, students. We'll wait for 5 minutes. The students are joining. Kindly wait for like 3 to 5 minutes.
tower, the XLR team has been received me with such a care and pleasure.
I am the part of this XLR since 4 months. From the third month itself, they have conducted the placement sessions from the third month itself, and this is the fourth month, and this is the 98th percentile is one of the placement drive I have attended so far, and attending to this drive is such a good experience for me. All the HRs and the team made us feel very comfortable and confident.
XLR helped me a lot, and I experienced a lot of things today. So I'm really hope to be I placed in that company. I'm confident about that. Thank you.
This was my first association with XLR. I had got a call from Miss Shubha, and
Good morning, everyone. So I think we should be good to start.
Yes, sir, you can start the session.
Yep. So last few days, we tried to look at different topics. So today we try to understand the DNS and the relevant DNS service which is available inside the cloud technology. Okay. So basically, we'll try to understand the basics of what is DNS, how it works. All right. So let's start it. So what is DNS? DNS is nothing but a domain name server. Okay. So you might have heard about in your learning sessions or in your like college trainings, like you might have a subject with a computer IT. So the DNS is a basic concept that will be really, helpful in IT technology. So basically DNS is nothing but a domain name server service which provides a directory of a domain names and translates them into IP address. Okay. So it is kind of a phone book of the internet, right? Where usually humans access information online through domain names. Like for example, we access Amazon.com, Facebook.com, Flipkart, Google.com, correct? So the web browsers interact through IP addresses, correct? So the web browsers interact through IP addresses. So what actually the DNS does, DNS translates the domain name into the IP address so that browsers can load the internet resources. So basically, whenever I want to access this Flipkart.com, okay, so this Flipkart.com, when I'm trying to access it, it has to give me the output page of the Flipkart website, correct? So to reach the Flipkart website in the background, this domain is connected to the IP address, IP address of the Flipkart web server. Like they will have the web servers in the background. So this is a domain and this is the IP address. Okay. So whenever we try to hit this website over the online, translation of this particular domain into the IP address, this concept will be handled by the DNS system. Okay. Translation of domain name into the backend IP address of the servers, that will be done with the help of a DNS service. Okay. So the process of it is nothing but a DNS resolution. It resolves domain to the IP address. So the process of DNS resolution involves in converting it will try to convert a host name to the IP address. Okay. Usually an IP address is given to each device or each server, the background over the internet. And that address is necessary to find the appropriate backend server. It is something like a address, which is street address, which is used to find a particular home. Whenever we want to find some home, so what we do, we need to know the address, correct? So such kind of a finding will be done with the help of a DNS. Whenever users trying to load a web page, it will try to have a translation, and the translation must occur between what a user types in here. Whenever we want to type, for example, google.com, and the computer address necessary to locate the example.com page. So whenever we trying to locate this google.com, so the DNS will try to find where this google.com domain has been registered, to which IP address this google.com has been connected. So it will try to have some queries. It will try to perform some queries. Okay. So the backend, there will be a DNS records in the background, DNS main servers that will try to perform a query search and trying to give us a relevant output in the front end. Okay. Whenever I simply hit google.com, we simply see the output of the web page. So it is very quick for me because the background technology, it is trying to perform some DNS query research so that when I'm trying to hit this www.google.com, it is trying to go back to the relevant backend Google web server IP address and will try to give me the output. Okay. That's how this DNS will work. You see this picture? This, we are trying to hit a user. I mean, trying to find some particular website. This is trying to have a relevant IP address and you will get the output. Okay. So basically, it will try to work with a query basis. That means a client computer, whenever you want to request some information like accessing some website, the request will be trying to go with the query. The initial request, it is trying to go to the open DNS server. It is nothing but a local DNS server first. Okay. So if you have some information that we'll be getting, for example, I'm accessing google.com. If I'm accessing google.com, then what happened? It will try to find the information in the local open DNS server. If the information is found here, then you will get an information coming back to your client computer. Okay. If there is no information in the open DNS server, the local DNS server, what it will try to do? It will try to find the required domain information in the root DNS server. And then if there is information back, it will try to give you the request to the local DNS. If it is not there, then again, what happened? Again, it will try to search for the TLD, top level domain. Okay. So here in the top level domain, what happens? It will try to have the information about all the subdomains. Okay. It will have all the information about a subdomain. That means even it will try to perform a recursive search for this inside this top level domain. So root DNS server, it is contacted by name servers that can resolve the name. It contacts the authoritative name server if a name mapping is not known. Okay. So TLD is nothing but a top level domain. It is responsible to handle like a subdomains like a .com, .rg, .edu, .etc and all top domain country domains like .uk, .fr, .ca, .in, IN means India, etc. So they will have info about authoritative domain servers and known the names and IP address of each authoritative name servers for the second level domains. Okay. So even if there is information here, then you will try to get back to the request and try to send that information back. And then you will try to know, like you will get a request that, okay, your google.com website domain has been searched here. So this is the response. Then your web page will be displayed. So even if it is not there inside this TLD, then it will try to go to the main DNS server. Okay. Then it will try to go back to the main DNS server. So this main DNS is nothing but a authoritative name servers. These are the organization's DNS servers providing host names for organization servers. Okay. So it can be maintained by organization or a service provider. All right. It can be maintained by organization or service provider. In order to reach google.com, so we need to ask to the root DNS server, then it will try to point out to the TLD top level domain server, and then to the authoritative domain name server, which actually contains the IP address. It should definitely contain the IP address. All right. So the authoritative domain name server will return the associate IP address. Okay. It will try to definitely give the authoritative domain name IP address. So it will try to go these three stages: root DNS server and top level domains, and then authoritative main domain name server. Then this is how the process we are calling as iterative and recursive queries. Recursive queries. All right. Is that clear? So in this way, the working of a DNS starts with converting a host name into an IP address. So a domain name serves as a distinctive identification for a website. So basically, it is used in a place of IP address to make it a simpler for customers to visit website. So usually whatever the applications or the websites that gets deployed. Do you think giving an IP address is easy for a customers, like a 35.42.21. Do you think giving an IP address is easy to a customers or domain names are easy to giving a customers? Usually the domain names are easy to remember and understand because IP address it won't be looking good and it doesn't trying to point out for the company's website. So that's why these domains are purchased and linked and mapped to this IP address so that that will be easily remembered and it can be managed as well. Okay. So this picture is also trying to show you the same information over here. A user who is trying to have a recursive query with a local DNS server and trying to go back to the root DNS server. If there is no information there, it will try to go to the top level domains. If there is no information in the top level domains, it will try to go back to the authoritative DNS server, the main DNS server. That's how the information will try to get retrieved. Okay. See, this is how the TLDs will look like. Like whenever users are trying to hit www.google.com, you see, this is trying to reach out to the top level domains. If you are typing google.com, it will try to go back to the top level subdomains to the .com and trying to search all the history over here. Like if that website is displaying or not, it is trying to find and trying to give us information. If you are trying to type google.net, it will try to search in the .NET database repository. If you are trying to type google.biz, it will try to find the relevant domain if that is available over the .biz database records. The same way, you can see .info, .org, .xyz, .cle, .site, correct? So in this way, the searching will be happening within the DNS service. Okay. So such kind of a service, which is nothing but a Route 53, which is provided by AWS, the cloud environment. Okay. So Route 53 is a service, DNS service, which is offered by Amazon Web Services. Okay. So basically, Amazon Route 53 is nothing but a highly available and scalable domain name service, web service. So Route 53 connects user request to internet applications running on AWS or on-premise. We can use this Route 53 to route the user traffic to AWS resources, like whatever the resources within the AWS that can be routed, like EC2 instances, ELB, or S3 buckets. Okay. So these are the following Route 53 benefits. What are the benefits? It is highly available and reliable, which is trying to provide built and distributed across AWS infrastructure. Okay. And integrated with AWS. So basically, it is fully integrated with AWS. Use Amazon Route 53 to map domain names to other AWS resources. it is highly scalable. That means it requires no intervention and will scale automatically to large to handle very large queries. That means so many users are trying to hit the website, right? So that requested queries are going to be handled over the Route 53 service within the AWS. Okay, that means it is highly scalable. Scalable means it will be scaled. It can be trying to handle multiple queries. Okay, cost effective. So for what you are trying to pay the cost here, you will try to pay only for the features. That means you are not trying to pay for the background infrastructure, as you are trying to only pay the cost only for the service that you are trying to use. Okay, DNS, AWS Route 53. It's an authoritative domain name service. All right. What we have discussed, the basics understanding of DNS. So it's an authoritative domain name service. It is also nothing but a health checking service. It is highly available and scalable. It offers tools that provides flexible, high performance and high available architecture on AWS, right? You see, there are different records that can be supported for this Route 53. Okay, these are the different records like a name record, 4A's record, C name, TXTs, SRV record, SPF record, SOA record, PTR record, NS record. These are various types of records that actually are available over Route 53. So we will try to see how these records will be helpful. For example, a name record, when you try to configure a name record in Route 53, it will try to convert the domain to the IP address. When you for the IPv4, when you try to use 4A's record, it will be used for conversion of domain into IP address for IPv6 address. CNAME records, it will be helpful for conversion of one domain to another domain. So there are different purpose that will be trying to help out. MX is nothing but a email records where you will try to configure emails. NS is nothing but name server record. Okay. TTR nothing but point to time records. SOE means state of authority record. Each record have a different purpose that we can try to configure actually. So there are other various benefits for this Route 53, which is trying to help out. We can see there are calculated health checks. Combines the results of multiple health checks into a single value using common operations such as and or not, like a logical operations. You can use these calculated health checks with Amazon Route 53's DNS failover to help improve the availability on your entire application. Like Amazon Route 53, other health check varieties, calculated health checks are integrated with Amazon CloudWatch to provide the metrics, graphs, and configurable alarms. CloudWatch is a service which will help to monitor the performance of the request. Latency measurement health check. It measures the performance, okay, of your application additionality based on its availability. Okay. When you enable this feature, Amazon Route 53 provides additional Amazon CloudWatch metrics for connection time and response latency from each of the region where Route 53 conducts the health check. can configure alarms on these Amazon CloudWatch metrics in order to be notified in your application becomes slow to respond to the customer request. All right. So these are the various features for Route 53. When you look at Sum 4, this feature of the main feature of the Amazon Route 50 is nothing but ease of domain management. You can try to have a management of the domain and traffic reduction, the latency based routing and traffic management. It will try to manage the multiple queries that will be trying to have it queried, correct? And management console benefits because you'll have a user interface that will be easily available and geographical DNS. Okay. So earlier we used to use a DNS, right? If you try to have the Route 53 in the place of a local DNS, you can see I am trying to have this Route 53 here. That means this is nothing but a authoritative DNS server, authoritative main DNS server. We are trying to manage this DNS service with the help of Amazon Route 53 here. You can see this example, end user who is trying to type some example.com. The request will first go to the DNS server. If there is information not found, then the request will go to the local, top level domain. If that is not trying to help out, if there is information, it will try to respond back to the local DNS resolver. If there is no information in the top level domain, then the request will be coming back to the Amazon Route 53 name server. If there is information found, it will try to be available over here. Even if there is no information, definitely the request should be, it will be configured inside the main DNS server, right? That is nothing but Route 53, what we try to configure here. Then user will be trying to access the web page and he will try to, the web page will be resolved to an IP address of the background web server. This way, the process will be done. So this domains that will be trying to manage inside the AWS console with the help of Amazon Route 53. Okay. This is how it will be helpful. So this is about the theoretical understanding. Let's try to see the lab how this Route 53 can be configured. Okay. So this is how the Route 53 dashboard looks like. Here you can try to create a hosted zone. You will try to manage the traffic and trying to conduct the health check monitoring, like with the help of a different CloudWatch services for the DNS requests and the queries that has been received. And you can also try to register the domain. So for example, if I want to register a domain, okay, you can see I want to register a domain called www.amazon.in. I'll check if that domain is available. Because I want to purchase a domain, right? Because these websites are not, free. You have to purchase. What it is telling? Amazon.in is not available. You can see this. Why this is not available? Because Amazon company already purchased that. You see, it is trying to suggest me some other, websites like www.amazon.net, Amazon Expressive.net. So it is trying to charge $15 USD dollars, 14 USD dollars per year. So for example, if I want to search xlr.com, when I want to search for xlr.com, okay, we have joined, right, XLR class now. Even this domain is not available because this domain is already purchased by XLR company. So that's why it is not available. I have other suggestions. So basically, you have to purchase the domain and you need to link this domain to the backend public IP address of the web server. That is how we can try to register. Okay. Now, what I'll try to do here, I will try to show you a demo lab on trying to have a sample domain that we will try to purchase, and then we will try to register over this Route 53 DNS service in the Amazon console. Okay. So I should have some domain which I have purchased before. There are third-party vendors as well. Now you can see. You can see Big Rock India, GoDaddy, and Namecheap. These are the companies who will try to provide the domains. You can purchase them. Cloudflare. You see, we can try to purchase the domains from these companies and then we will try to link it. So Amazon is also trying to provide a service called domain selling. We can also purchase the websites from these company as well. Correct. So what I've done for the practice of this lab session, I try to purchase the domain from GoDaddy. Okay. Let's see. I'll show you that. So I'm going to the My Products. I have a domain called techtutor.one. Okay. See, for example, if I have to purchase a domain techtutor.one, so for 1 year, it is trying to charge me 2,165 rupees. Correct. So for last year, I've tried to purchase for the very less amount. So what I'm trying to do, I've already had this expiration till maybe around October or September, right? Okay. So I purchased a domain called techtutor.one. Okay. And this is going to be expired on 27/8/2024. So that means I'm able to use this. Okay. So what I'll try to do, I'll click on manage. Manage DNS. Okay. So what I'll try to do here, I will try to create a host management. That means I can try to manage everything over the AWS cloud with the help of Route 53. So I'll try to click on create hosted management. For example, I'm trying to have a website called techtutor.one. This is a website I purchased, right? This hosted zone is used for testing, hosting demo website in AWS. Okay, I'm just trying to write a description. So this is a domain I purchased. So I want to register over here. Okay, I want to make it as a public. I'll click on create hosted zone. Done. Now you can see this TechTutor one where I'm trying to create a hosted zone. By default, there are two records that will be created. One is NS record, one is SOA record. NS is nothing but name server record. SO is nothing but state of authority. These will be created by default whenever you try to create a new domain. All right. What I'll do, I'll try to launch a sample web server. Okay. Let's see. I will link this web server IP address to the domain that I'm trying to register under Route 53. So I'm launching this. Default. Oh, I have to select an by right. So let me try to launch this. I will try to deploy some Apache. Okay, better. Under the user data section, launch instance. Now, this is the web server. For example, this web server can be Amazon, Flipkart server, like even those companies also have a backend servers, right? So I'm trying to have a backend web server deploying this web server to for my website, like a techtutor.one. So whenever users are trying to hit this techtutor.one, the request is coming to the background backend techtutor website. Okay. So I'll try to rename it. So my server is in running state. let's check the output. If usually what do we check? We'll check the output with this public IP address, right? That is what we try to do when you try to do a configuration. So see, it has to show the website. When users are trying to hit this particular website, the IP address, it has to give me the output. But I don't want this IP address to be given to the customers. Usually the companies doesn't give the IP address, right? So what I'm trying to do, I will try to link this IP address to a domain. Which domain? techtutor.1, correct? techtutor.1. That means whenever our users are trying to hit techtutor.1, this has to show me the output of this. It works, right? So currently this is not linked. So how I am trying to link it? I'm trying to link it with the help of a Route 53 service and the domain registration. Okay. So let's try to do it. So currently when I'm trying to hit the IP address, it is trying to show me this, correct? But when I'm trying to hit with the domain, this is not working. See, because this is not linked with the backend IP address. So now I'll go here. I'll try to click on what I'll try to do. I'll just try to register these name server records. For example, I'll copy this and paste here inside this GoDaddy because my domain registration has been done in the GoDaddy. So I'll try to go and configure there. Okay. I'll click on change name servers. These are the name servers records that will be created by default when you try to register a domain inside Route 53. I'm trying to save it. By clicking on continue, you're updating the name servers. Yes, I would. It says your request is in progress. It takes a little time. Okay. Let's give it some time. And in the meanwhile, inside this Route 53, I will try to create some records. For example, create record. Okay. So what record I have to create? I am trying to create a ANM record. ANM record means routes the traffic to IP address and some AWS resources. So that means whenever users are trying to hit www.techtutor.1, okay, www.techtutor.1, the request has to go to the backend IP address of the server. So what is the IP address of the server? This is the public IP address, right? I'm trying to link this IP address to the domain name. That means whenever users are trying to hit www.techtutor.1, the request will be have to go to the backend public IP address so that user should see the output. Whenever user trying to hit this www.techtutor.1, user should see the output of this web server. That is this web server. Okay, that is what the process I'm trying to do. I'm clicking on create records. So this is nothing but a name record, right? So I've created. So I try to link the domain www.techtutor.1 to the backend public IP address of the web server. All right. Let's see. Should take little time. Forwarding. So let's try to check if my registration and configuration has been done. So now what I'll try to do, I will check if my output is generating with this domain. Okay, I'll open a new browser and I'll access www.techtutor.1. Let's see. It's still not coming up. It takes time maybe. Let's take that. It usually takes 3 to 5 minutes. So can anyone try from your end as well? I'm pinging this website. You can also try this website. Let me know if you're able to see the output like this. It works. Anyone try to access this website and let me know if the output is coming up. No one? Did anyone try it? Yes. I see someone is telling that output is coming up. Basically, my cache it's not trying to work out here. So in this way, in real time, the websites usually work. Okay. Check. Fine. My domain it's not working properly in my computer actually. Usually it's working fine in my mobile. When I'm trying to access this, that output is trying to be generated. Can anyone post a picture inside the Zoom session? My cache is not trying to load that. It's blocking from my system. I don't know. Was everyone able to see my screen? See, this is the output that has to be expected, right? So in this way, the website domain, it will trying to work out. Okay. So basically, it seems to be cache issue from my computer, but when you try to load yours, it will try to work on you. See this? Okay. This is a concept of Route 53. So I see everyone are trying to post the picture as well. You see, even in the mobile also it's working fine. So you can try to deploy sample websites in this way. All right. I'm sure something is blocking from my computer. So this is the output that has been generated for users. So this is a ANM record, right? For example, uh, there is a concept of other record. For example, if I want to type CNAME record, okay, CNAME record means routing a domain to other domain. This is nothing but a route traffic to another domain to some other AWS resources. For example, there is a website, uh, learning. For example, subdomain like a learning.techtutor.1. If you try to hit this website, the request has to go back to the techtutor.1. This is nothing but a routing a domain request routing between one domain to another domain. Okay, techtutor.1, right? So whenever user are trying to hit learning.techtutor.1, the request has to go to the backend www.techtutor.1. Okay, let's try to create record, one more record. So can anyone try, if you are try to access this website and let me know the output? Even this will have to route the request to the main website. So you might have a sub domains, right? For example, you try to access some subdomain like learning.com or other domain. The request has to go to the background domain. Okay. Can anyone try and let me know? Because my system it is blocking. You can send the picture in the Zoom chat. When you try to hit learning.techtutor.1, the request will go to the www.techtutor.1. This is CNAME record. CNAME record is nothing but routing a request from one domain to another domain. That is nothing but a CNAME. Can anyone try? You can try in some incognito window or something. For me in the mobile it works. Learning.techtutor.1. Is it working for others? See, someone posted. So if you see here, when you try to hit learning.techtutor.1, the request is going to the www.techtutor.1. That is nothing but a redirecting one domain to another domain. Okay, this is nothing but a concept of a CNAME record. For example, there is an XLR website. If you try to join zoom.xlr.com, the request will go to the main website, that is www.xlr.com. In the same way, you can also configure in this way. Okay, so this is how the Route 53 and the concept of domains will work on. Is it clear? Is that clear? Yeah. So that is how. I hope everyone have loaded the website. It is working, right? All right. So what I'll try to do, I'll delete now as we are done with lab session. I hope the session got helpful for you. I'll delete this. Delete records. Okay. And then I'll delete the hosted zone because I'm done. And then I'll terminate the server because we are done with this. Yes, this also got deleted. All right. So that is for today's session. Any doubts or queries? All right. I hope the session is helpful for everyone. So we can catch up next. Someone had a question. I created a web page, works, but when trying to access the public IP address. So before the public IP address, you need to put HTTP. Usually HTTP will work. Maybe it is trying to load HTTPS, that won't work because we don't have SSL certificate installed, right? So you need to type HTTP:// IP address. Go and check once.